their full team. And look at the new faces. They've done plenty of off-season spending, as you know. Terry Hill in the 4 jumper. Daryl Beasley is the lad from Auckland they purchased. He'll wear the number 7 tonight. Mark Carroll and David Gillespie. And they're a very strong outfit, even with those players out. North Sydney side, Peter, they've got Jason Taylor coming into the side tonight in the number 7. And Sean Hoppy from Canberra, a very good off-season purchase for them. Still no Ivan Cleary, he's out injured. But look at that forward line. It just absolutely oozes class and strength. They'll be hard. He's a beautiful playmaker. And he kicks off now left to right. North Sydney versus Manly. They played in the corresponding match of the Tooheys Challenge last year at Ballina. And North Sydney won that encounter 14-12. They played 3 times last year, as a matter of fact. Manly lost that match at Ballina. The first penalty goes to Manly. And then Norths beat Manly on their home ground, and then Manly turned it around down at Brookvale in the Winfield Cup proper. Further evidence of the presence of Bob Fulton, I'm sure. 26-10, they reversed it in round 16. Scott Fulton, talking of Bob, is the man with the ball. His son, Scott. David Gillespie is the first one put to ground. Now 35 out from his own line. David's granddad had a very big operation in the last couple of days up at Trangie, I think it is. And David asked to say hello to you, Pop. Hope you're feeling all right. This is OJ, the man they call OJ, Owen Cunningham, right on halfway, right on the Tooheys Challenge sign. Beasley getting one of his first touches. The ball grubbered along the ground, back to Barwick. That's a very solid hit, and that is Beasley, the number 7.
The report of Beasley before this game, Ray, was that he is a very, very strong defender. We were talking to Marty Gurr before this game. You can see here the evidence going in. A lovely shot. But a mistake made by North Sydney. Sean Hoppy coming up with the error. A scrum to be set 22 metres out. A Manly feed and a great attacking opportunity. Again, the scrum being set 20 metres in from the sideline. Good options either side.
Cliff Lyons. Terry Hill. He was good last weekend, wasn't he? Different game, though, now. Gillespie. Reports are that his enthusiasm and experience is rubbing off on the younger players at Manly already. Here's Carroll. I won't be surprised if Mark Carroll's work rate is lifted by Coach Fulton. Lyons fading across. Danny Moore was trying to go ahead, but then picked up and driven back in solid defence out there. The main tackler was John MacArthur. This is Kosef, and 5 have gone. They're inside the 20. Lyons. Billy Moore tried to charge it down, taken by Sean Hoppy. They've got good speed on the wings, Norths, Hoppy and David Hall.
Well, it's been all Manly so far in the opening exchanges. They've had all the possession due to a couple of mistakes made by Norths, a penalty, a drop ball. So North's looking to settle down now and put a good 6 together. But Mark Carroll does look very fit this year. He's dropped 7 kilos in his training. He's down to 110 now, and that's a good hit by him front on.
I also think, Paul, Ray was pointing out that Bob Fulton will probably bring the best out of Carroll. I do think playing with Gillespie will have a very positive effect as well, as that kick comes off the side of the boot. And very fortunately for Jason Taylor, he's found touch not on the full. So the scrum will be set. And I just think that Gillespie will bring the best out of Carroll in the fact that he'll show him what technique is the best way to go about things. There's the man there, I think the best defender in the game. And he does have a great work rate to work with.
You can imagine when they get Ian Roberts back in the side, they'll have a huge pack.
Now, Terry Hill looking to work with Danny Moore. They try to get outside the North Sydney backline. David Hall, he showed the sideline to Hancock. This is Rogers. I don't know how he'll measure up to this class, but obviously he's got something on his record because they snapped him up last weekend. Apparently he's a great goal kicker. There's a knock on, is it not? No, Scott didn't get a hand to it. Beasley looking to turn it round the corner. He doesn't lack confidence. North's with it. And then they're put away by Hancock's tackle on Billy Moore. sporting the beard these days, Billy. Down on the sidelines, of course, tonight. You've seen them earlier. You've heard from them earlier. Steve Roach and Gary Belcher. Yes, Gary.
Yes, Ray, a nervous start for some of the new boys out there. Sean Hoppy already making a mistake the first time he touched the ball. And Jason Taylor, a pretty ordinary kick. I suppose they'll want to improve on that block.
Yeah, I've been very impressed early for the Manly side. On the other hand, with Mark Carroll and David Gillespie already been involved in the bulk of the hit-ups.
30 metres out from the line. I guess playing alongside Gillespie, Paul, a bloke that likes to roll his sleeves up and do plenty of work. If you're playing alongside him, it obviously would rub off.
Yeah, but Dave Gillespie's got a great reputation, which has been well earned. You don't like to run into him. He's a good talker, and having played against him for many years, he's just a good player to keep away from him on the field.
Norths now with a good chance. Jason Taylor showing what he might do later on when they start to tire and probably do it more effectively.
The referee's found a knock on there from Mario Fennick. Mad scramble from the pass back inside from Jason Taylor. It looked as though it was going to work out okay for North City in getting the ball back. But Fennick must have just got a hand to it, went forward. Now Beasley sets the scrum 10 metres out, feeds the scrum and runs from the scrum base.
I guess what I was saying there about Mark Carroll, the man we're talking about, and nothing offensive to him at all, but if you're working alongside a bloke that's racking up 20 tackles a half and taking his share of hit-ups, your record might not look quite so good alongside it if in fact you're packing into the scrum with him. Cliff Lyons has got a problem.
Yes, I think you'll find that Gavin Jones came in, not saying deliberately with the knees, but he hit Cliff Lyons pretty tough. You'll see him on the left there. There you see the left knee collecting Cliff Lyons' head.
Well, there's the first tackle in, here's the second, and now it would seem that Cliff is well and truly parcelled up when the third comes in.
Well, as long as he's in motion, a player is entitled to come in and finish the tackle. He looks a bit groggy, Cliffy. Gavin Jones looking to finish off Cliff there, put the man on the ground and try and hurt them if possible.
You thought he was in motion?
Yep. Well, he's going down.
Yeah, he's going down now. He's in all sorts of trouble, Cliff. He doesn't know where he is. Has to be a replacement come on here. He does so in the form of Cole Bentley, a very experienced player. But Lyons, it was a glancing blow there, and might have been a little bit fortunate that the impact wasn't more front on. Would have done some real damage.
The puffiness above that right eye. He's got one giant-sized headache at the moment, though. 3 scrums already decided. That's the 4th, and here's Taylor running the angle. Caruana offloads. Taylor supports. They're looking good, North Sydney. Not frightened to throw it around. Hoppy is the dummy half. Fennick runs into a traffic jam. They force him back several metres. Tony Ray, Gavin Jones. Kasef, Carroll it was, without the headgear low. Again they go left, and Taylor picks up out wide Gary Larson, Origin player. One member of a very classy looking pack of forwards. Caruana. I'm surprised to see him come up a dummy half sometimes. Very versatile young player. Taylor's bomb, he probably wishes was a bit longer. Forced in goal by Danny Moore. So that's pressure for Manly. They've been able to repel it, but now they've got to come back and face the music again.
They got the good result here in North Sydney, but I thought a very ordinary set of 6 by them. Not too much initiative shown. Forwards out in the back line when it should have gone wide. Cliffy gets the lift off, and the bomb at the end of it.
Fairley. David Fairley. Very hard to think the Kangaroos will go away without him at the end of the year. Billy Moore did well, got a pass away. MacArthur finds Taylor, pushed on for Florimo. Nick Florimo dispossessed of a shoe or a boot. Now Taylor switches the point. Fairley offloads for Hoppy. Oh, Hoppy got around Jamie Oldjamic easily. First try of the game. And Hoppy, he got around Jamie Olginek, who appeared to be on the wrong foot. And Norths, they lead 4-0 after 8 minutes.
Well, that was unbelievable. They had a 3-man overlap to the left, and there's a switch of play on here. They switch it back here. There's 2 on 4, 3, 4. And Hoppy just gets around Olginek like he's not even there, like he's a ghost. And great work, North Sydney. Came out of nothing.
It did indeed, because the Manly defence up to that stage had been outstanding. But it was just one-on-one, and the great evasion of Sean Hoppy. He's a very fast man. Well, we've spoken before, we're surprised that Canberra opted to let him go. North losing Daryl Halligan would have rubbed their hands with glee to be able to pick Hoppy up.
Hoppy, another of the footballers sporting very much the short back and sides. What about you, Fat? You thinking of getting yours lopped off?
Due for a trim, Rabs. Due for a trim. What about you? You'd be due for a rinse, wouldn't you?
Probably a tint or something. What about Sterling?
Can we just,
He just
have a
needs
look at the
something.
goal kick? And
He'd like to have something there to do something with.
baldness is neat.
Here's Taylor. 21 out. Almost 10 in. Looks good. Oh, splits the uprights. Doesn't matter where he is. Presents no problems for the Super Kid with the boot.
Who needs Daryl Halligan? What about that one?
What about Ivan Cleary when he comes into the side?
This is a nice planned switch of play, but really it went the wrong way, didn't it, Sirlo? They had a mile of them out to the left. In the end, they scored.
It was a nice planned switch of play, but it went the wrong way.
Went the wrong way. The scoreboard didn't.
Exactly.
6-0. What's the story on Cliffy Lyons? Block, can you help me?
Some good news for Cliff Lyons and the Manly club. He's just clearing his head from the sideline. He's just about to go back on now, right?
Yogi Rogers starts for Manly. And they won't want to open up like that too often. North Sydney side, they can lay claims, definite claims to being a threat this year. I know it seems like we've been saying that for yonks. There's Cliff about to come back. Player of the tournament last weekend. To think that he was sitting on the bench for a fair amount of the time last year, and his career looked as though it was over with Manly. And here he is back, player of the tournament already in his portfolio for this year, and the captain tonight. I guess it's a case of horses for courses. When you had Toohey and Hasler and Lyons, that was a headache. But now, no Toohey, no Hasler, and Cliff has gone back to the top of the hit parade. Coughed up or stolen? Stolen is the ruling from Grant, Brian Grant.
And the best appeal from Tony Ray there you've ever seen, saying that, no, sir, the ball has just come loose. No North Sydney hand. Let's have a look at it. Larson on the other side. Oh, very difficult to pick that one up. There's the ball coming out. Disbelief.
Brian Grant with the Vasso on the forehead and eyebrows. He must be thinking of packing into a scrum or something.
Pumped up.
Oh, he's pumped up, all right, the ref.
Local ref really comes from Lismore, just down the road a bit. Made the trip up today, and a competent referee as well.
Did the Vasso make him go any better?
Keeps the sweat out of their eyes. I believe another mistake made by Manly. A pass that really wasn't on there by Gillespie. Tried to get the miracle ball away. So North, things going right for them here, attacking inside the Manly half.
David Fairley playing it. His captain a dummy half. Larson takes it ahead. Both knees in protection. And now Taylor fades across. Jones gave him a decoy. Moore took the brunt of the defence. Carroll met him. Carroll's been minus the headgear for quite some time now. Jones had a little snatch at it. Gavin Jones puts it down. That's an unforced error. And he's looking at his hands, and I think probably the same thing as we saw the other night. Humidity and the heat. It's going to be very hard to handle the ball. Lyons calling Beasley around him. Then there's a knock on. Grant let it go. And Might be those that argue, but I think you find the ball was projected towards the opposing dead ball line.
He let it go because he was unsighted. He was looking, he was behind a Norse player and didn't see it.
Anyway.
And this is where these touch judges have got their microphones on inside their flags. Now there's a mistake by Manly. This will be pulled up. This is where the touch judge should come in and say, hey, Brian, baby, touch a knock on there, son, and pull it up.
That's what it's all about.
Do they talk to each other like that?
Well, they tell me they do.
4-1 the scrums to Manly. Nothing against the feed. Caruana across the ground. MacArthur tries to straighten. And wrapped up by Terry Hill. He hasn't had a chance yet to explode. Billy Moore. They seem to have had more of the football, North Sydney. Even though the scrums would indicate otherwise. They got the best of the scoreboard, haven't they? 6-0 in favour of them. Taylor decided to run it himself there, and that's good thinking by Taylor. Florimo waits it for an outside winger. There's nobody coming other than Varwick. Well, if they're waiting for... oh, here he is getting attention over there, David Hall, from one of the trainers. And that kick was meant for him, quite definitely. But the winger, he was getting some trainer attention back on the halfway line.
Well, another knock on here from this time Owen Cunningham. And with just over 5 minutes to go in this first quarter, both teams have been very guilty of making the simplest errors in the game.
Gary Belcher on the sidelines. Yes, Gary?
Yeah, Ray, as Jason Taylor feeds the scrum, it's quite obvious from the sideline here that he's the little general out there. He's doing all the ordering of his forwards, organising them, and getting a lot of clean ball out to his backs.
Caruana. Again, as I said, don't be surprised if he pops up from dummy half. Taylor now calling those troops around him. Billy Moore. 5 metres out from the line, an opportunity for the Bears to get their second try. Taylor got inside one, shut down by Yogi Rogers. That was good defence by him. He had to come off his line, he did that. Florimo now stretches it, Fairley drops it on the left foot, and Rogers is across to clean it up. So if you had a question mark on Jorgen Rogers, he's shown that he's got plenty of ability in that last passage of play.
That was outstanding defence from the fullback there. I thought that Jason Taylor might have tried to put another step on him, but he came up with a good ball and all tackle, and that's another 20-25 metres across field to get to that in-goal kick. Great work there from the number 18, but hoping to be the number 1 for Manly this season.
David Fairley. He probably didn't talk for any great length of time about Fairley's adroitness with that little left foot grubber. He weighted it perfectly. Here's a nice play by the Bears. Billy Moore offloads. Caruana flicks the ball out and hopes for the best.
Yeah, one too many forward passes. There looked to be 3 or 4 of them in that play, but some good short passes. Jason Taylor. A lot of coaches are using this ploy now. Greg Florimo, it was the short ball, and a couple of those passes looked a bit dusty.
That was a chance there for Norths. 4-3 the scrums. Beasley. Can't tell you much more about him other than he played in Auckland, and Bob Fulton and Frank Stanton caught sight of him.
First name's Darryl.
Oh, good. Thanks very much. Steve Roach.
A very good play from Yogi Rogers, a new Manly signing. He's from the Wellington Club in New Zealand, the same club as John Lomax.
This is Hancock. Well covered by Gary Larson.
A super play by Larson.
Lions. Danny Moore in and away. Big and fast. Trouble down in the back play. Trouble in the back play, still going, as you can see, Lions and Florimo. Now they've had a little bit of a patch-up. Everything's okay. Valentine's Day. Now,
I love you, Greg.
Danny Moore, O.J. Cunningham, Scott Fulton, Hancock, Kosef.
That's as good as I've seen.
Well, 1 minute Cliffy was fair dinkum going hammer and tong, the best 3 rights you've ever seen, and then he's given him a cuddle. Obviously didn't hurt him.
The bomb, Barwick doesn't know where it is. Taylor scoops it up like a ruck rover. Touch judge comes in, and this is going to be to report the Lions-Florimo thing, and it makes me think, that it's Florimo who's the provocateur, because he's waited for North to get the football.
Well, I suppose so, Ray, but fair dinkum, you wouldn't even bother. It happened 5 minutes ago, 70 metres away.
Yeah, I imagine Cliff Lyons was probably hit late. Let's have a look at it.
Well, there's nothing in it. It's a shoulder charge, and there's a bit of a tip going on. Tit for tat. Fair dinkum, this bloke with the big helipad on his head, the linesman, why would you even bother coming in?
Well, it's going to be a penalty.
Well, where would it be, Peter? It'd be 50 metres back. So
they've got to go back to the mark.
They've got to get back up there.
Oh,
that'll do me.
Touch judge obviously feels that Florimo's in the wrong because he's waited for Manly to have all of the attacking opportunity. And there is the penalty to Manly.
What would you like to do to him, blocker? That touch judge.
Oh, mate, at least he got on. Mummy and Daddy will be able to see him now.
While all that was going on, Danny Moore made a great break. He stood Billy Moore up there with a sidestep that was just outstanding. What a talent he is to have in a club. Can play in the back row, can play in the centres. He's an exciting prospect. All's well that ends well.
Manly put on a play that almost seems like it's unique to the Manly club. 4 forwards going one way and the other. Now they spread wide, looking for Terry Hill. Hancock's with the football. Did he use one of his own men as a shepherd? He kicks ahead. We'll worry about that later. And the siren goes as the North Sydney player Taylor is put down. 20 minutes gone. The Bears leading the Eagles 6-0.
Australia, stand by for anything.
I'm in the mood for some comedy.
Yes, we know not what we play. Hey Hey's back with Lenny Kravitz exclusive. John Farnham, Lee Kernigan and the cast of A Chorus Line. Hey Hey on Channel 9.
Are all your bills hitting home at once? This Monday, Lotto is having a $3 million bill buster draw. Get your entry in. If you win, it won't be just you that's bowled over.
From the creator of Reservoir Dogs, Val Kilmer, Dennis Hopper, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Christian Slater, and Patricia Arquette. True Romance.
Well, we've been over that before, Mel. Yeah. Yep. Oh, no, I understand your concerns, Mel. Understand them. No, sure thing. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll work on it on the weekend. No, well, I'll devote the weekend to it, and, well, we should be able to come up with something by Monday. No, good to speak to you, Mel. Bye, Mel. Bye.
A new V6 Pathfinder four-wheel drive from the new Nissan.
We were very smart.
We were?
Taking the car loan. And the home loan. And the loan for the new room. And parcelling them all into one loan at the National. With the lower interest rate, we now have over $300 a month extra to spend when Nicole comes.
Nick.
Joseph.
Ask the National for details about parcelling all your personal borrowings at one low interest rate. We tailor banking to your needs.
Excuse me. If you made a telecom STD call to anywhere in Australia for 5 minutes at peak time, what's the most you could possibly pay?
$15 maybe?
About $6?
About $8 or $9.
$2.62.
I would say, oh, wow. Who's going to do that?
Telecom. Ring this number and find out how a Telecom Flexi plan could save you even more.
Start of the second quarter, and watching the match between North Sydney and Manly. No doubts that North had the best of a mistake-ridden first 20 minutes. Plenty of drop ball. Kosef is with the ball 20 metres out from his own line. Now let's see what's been happening down there. Let's go to Gary Belcher.
Ray, from the Norths camp, Peter Louis not unhappy at all with the 6-0 lead. He knows the effort is excellent. He says his Norths players must be better than Manly around the play the ball area so they can get their defence set quite early.
Yes, in the Manly camp, Bob Fulton pretty disappointed with the ball control from the Manly side. Too many drop balls. He counted 5 in the first half. He wants them to play out their sets of 6, get to the end of their tackles.
All right, this is Cunningham now. Just on those quarter-time huddles, I misunderstood something Blocker said the other night at Penrith to do with the Illawarra side and their coach Graham Murray. And it may have came out that Graham had ordered us away. That is not exactly the case. So please don't think that that was inferred in any way, even though it may have been taken that way. Graham rang me to clear it up. Illawarra has always been very, very good to us, and there was no criticism meant in any shape or form. Fennick just sliding it across, a short pass for Caruana. 40-metre line, North Sydney's end of the ANZ Stadium, which is hosting tonight's Tooheys Challenge. And this is the first match, in my knowledge, to be played by foreign teams to ANZ. I can't think of any match being played here in its short history that hasn't involved the Broncos.
So Bob Fulton made a comment in the local Manly Daily today. He said it's funny. He said these two teams that live 10 kilometres away from each other, yet they've got to travel 1,000 kilometres to play a game. That's the way the Tooheys Challenge goes, taking the game all round the states of Queensland and New South Wales, and soon, of course, Northern Territory. Big game in Alice Springs coming up.
Good solid hit there by Gavin Jones. Cunningham steaming up the centre. Alexander inside the 10, or was it against the markers? He's got them for being inside the 10. Get some of these rule changes these days. That, of course, was brought in midway through last year. And of course, in this Tooheys Challenge, we're experimenting with the tap free and the scrums being set 20 metres in rather than 10. I think that'll be a very good ruling if it's invoked by the International League. Beasley, Lyons, shows it, turns it into the centre. Gillespie is with it. Terry Hill trying to make a passage through there, but it was concentrated North's defence. Beautifully floated pass from Beasley to Lyons, flicked up by Moore. Lyons back for Oljanek. Basketball across the top for Alexander. Larson waits for him with Fairley. Last tackle now for the Eagles. Lyons looking for it. The bomb is on. Barwick underneath it, but up above them was the lock forward. Grant giving the turnover now, the signal of turnover. So the ball must have gone forward in that pass for Manly.
John MacArthur coming up with the crucial tackle there. Terry Hill actually appealed that he'd been tackled without the ball. See the kick well contested here. Ball coming out. That's the tackle there that the Manly players were upset about.
And they've got the penalty, the Eagles. Good hands here by Nick Cossett and then Scott Fulton to get the quick passes away. And it was Terry Hill dead set held before he had the football. So shot at goal now for the Eagles to be taken by their new buy, Jorgie Rogers.
Though Terry Hill was held out of the play, you'll find that Grant's ruling was the play immediately prior to that. Pretty positive he's ruled a forward pass from Scott Fulton across. And that's where he ordered the turnover. Now, our mail on Rogers, the kicker here, is that he had a goal-kicking session. When was it, yesterday, Fatty?
Yeah, he had a few kicks yesterday at Brookvale Oval and kicked 13 out of 15. The 2 that he missed hit the uprights. So he goes all right, apparently. There's his first test in the real league.
He's due for a miss then.
Yes.
Put the mock on here.
$700,000 prize money for the Tooheys Challenge. Great company. Tooheys people, tremendous supporters of sport. Gavin Jones is off for the Bears. Rogers strikes it, looks okay. Beautiful, put into the air and straight over the dot. 6-2, he'll do, leave him back there. 25 minutes gone. Rogers, Yogi.
And
Gets the goal.
He's gone very well too in the open play, hasn't he? Saved a couple of tries, one with a good front-on tackle, and got over there in the corner to seal the ball out over the net ball area. So he's going well now, brings the ball back. So he's in all the action.
He's very enthusiastic too, just there. He'd taken the kick and he scurried back into the in goal. Normally they would wave a centre or a second rower back to cover. But he thought, no, I'll get back there and do it myself. And he was the man that first brought it out. David Gillespie, his third club in the Winfield Cup. Kosef fires it out for Terry Hill. He's been trying to break through, but Johnny MacArthur's hanging on like a leech.
It's been excellent defence for North Sydney out there as the flick pass will be cleaned up for Manly there. Owen Cunningham getting the ball away. Now David Alexander throws the pass back inside. Some scrappy stuff here. Cunningham eventually knocks on. MacArthur's been very good out there. So too David Hall. He reads the play magnificently in defence for a winger. Knows when to come in, knows when to stay out. Very tough assignment to get around David Hall in defence as Mark Carroll leaves the field.
Changes on for Manly. 17, Daniel Gartner. And coming off David Alexander, there's another change gone out there. In 21, it's Matt Dunford for Manly.
Well, that's what we saw in the first 20 minutes from both sides. Simple mistakes, and Greg Florimo, that'll be his one for the season. Just out in front, simple knock on.
Adrian Toole out there now for the Bears in 17. So these coaches are going to rotate the players as much as they can. Hancock. Dunford. Been with Manly now for quite some time. Matt, he's always been a very handy replacement for the Manly club. Obviously, he'd have higher aspirations than keeping the bench warm, but he does his job well for them when asked. Cliff Lyons. Charge down attempt by David Fairley. It didn't pay off for him, but at least he was there trying. Barwick pursued by Danny Moore. That's very good defence by Manly. Kosef was the man that eventually wrapped him up, but Danny Moore did the lead up, the hard work. Adrian Toole taken to ground by Cunningham.
Adrian Toole this year has been named club captain of North Sydney, taking over from Tony Ray. And he's a veteran of North Sydney as well, been there a long time.
Fairley. Just saw a classic example of a team not carrying on with their play. They were setting up for the next play and they forgot about the play in question. I'm talking about John MacArthur. He scurried out, he got into some space and he had an opportunity to provide a clean ball to a support, but everybody's waiting for the next play. I'm sure Coach Peter Louis would have spotted that. Sometimes they can be too, what's the word, Peter? Computerised or puppetised.
They both sound good to me, Ray.
Okay, you'll run with both of them. Gary Belcher on the sidelines.
Ray, I think the kickers from both sides are just starting to get the hang of it. Out here, the ground is very spongy, and if you kick the ball high, it doesn't run very far at all.
Yeah, just talking to Mark Carroll on the sideline, then they're having problems with their hands because of the humidity down here on the sideline. Very warm.
And an illustration of the depth of this North Sydney back row that Paul Wharton was talking about earlier. Craig Wilson out there in jersey number 16 has replaced David Fairley. Wilson would be a starter in just about any club in the Winfield Cup competition. Cliff Lyons, a short ball to Terry Hill. Can't beat MacArthur again.
Oh,
good
Rogers
hands.
with a good pair of hands. He gave his winger a little opportunity. It was a case of catch and pass in one motion, and it's not something that comes at 4 stone 7s or under 6s.
Oh, it's a great ball.
It was a classic piece of rugby league, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little flick. Good ball to Hancock in front of him. Been very impressive in everything he's had to do.
Johnny MacArthur trying to slice through, and Terry Hill throws a spanner in his works. Billy Moore. Fennick. Tony Ray. Moore again. Taylor. That's Craig Wilson. Spirals out of one attempted tackle. It might have been Gillespie that missed him, actually. Wilson. Good ball player. Grubber kick into the end goal. Rogers, oh, he had an air swing. But it's all right.
Yes, we'll count that one against him. Another strike for Rogers, but he should have just dived on this ball or handballed it over. He's gone for the big whoosker with the boot and missed it. Luckily, Oljanik was covering, but nice little kick there by Craig Wilson.
Reminded me of you at Riverside Oaks and that tree the other day. You've had 3 air swings and didn't count any of them. Drop out by Rogers, taken by Wilson. Toole goes back into the workshop.
Oh, you have to get it in, Ray. That's one of your best.
Leave me alone. Larson. Well, what's he going to do? He's given a penalty to North Sydney, and he's penalised a Manly player for just interfering with the man trying to play it. So this is a pretty dumb act, if in fact the referee has seen it correctly. Right in front for Taylor. It's like taking Billy the Kid on at 5 paces, isn't it? Here it is.
It's Gary Larson getting up to play the ball. The referee has ruled that Nick Kosef was too long in holding the man down. And I think he's right as well. He was really trying to play the ball, Larson. Was up on his feet.
While Nick was holding on, he obviously didn't want Larson to get up and tap the ball forward. One of the Manly players should have come off the line to mark up, and then Kosef can let the boot go and get up quickly as well, as Taylor puts the ball through the sticks for 2 points. At this stage, it's North Sydney 8 leading Manly 2. 34th minute.
Jason Taylor taking on board the water.
A quick restart here from Manly. Their team up there very, very quickly. Caught North Sydney out a little bit by surprise, but a great job done here by Sean Hoppy. Yes. The defender to take it 32 out and still going. Great run there from Sean Hoppy.
Good passing by the Bears. Larson finished up with it for the second time. There's the comfort zone. Tony Ray taking full advantage of it.
Oh, outstanding body.
Oh, a bit of a paunch there, I thought.
Tell him to put his jersey back on.
Oh, the Channel 9 man in the comfort zone. And Manly inside the 10, and again Taylor. He's got the breeze at his back in the first half. I'll be surprised if he doesn't take the shot. 8-2 they lead. I don't know whether you saw it in the papers in Sydney today. Peter Boo Bailey, who does the comics for the Telegraph Mirror, a beauty at Sterlo, interviewing the halfback winner of the man of the match. He said, Peter, I'm a front rower. I've just melted. And
very good likeness.
There's the boys Peter, in the comfort zone now.
A very good likeness of Peter in that cartoon.
Thank you, Paul. I thought there was a bit too much forehead there, but...
Haven't you looked in a mirror?
He's very good, Boo Bailey.
Taylor from right in front. Oh, boy. Has he got it going early in the year or what?
Daryl who?
Very successful by Jason Taylor.
Daryl who? Can you imagine the feeling of confidence they'll have when these two kids are on the paddock at the same time? Well, 10 points to 2. And we're not too far away from half-time.
Now, with Tony Ray off on the sideline, Mark Soden's gone on. He's actually going to play hooker. He's declared that he wants to, with Taylor coming there, he's a halfback, of course. He wants to try and play first grade, so he's actually going to try and oust Tony Ray from that hooking role. So he's got his chance here to put some form on the board.
There was a time in the game of rugby league that he'd have his own and Buckley's, but of course with the modern trend the way it is, he's going to put a lot of pressure on the captain, Tony Ray. It's still quite an art though, dummy half work. It's one thing to be fast and nippy out of dummy half. Quite another to be able to have your back to your entire team and know which way the call is, which way we're going, give them service from the ground without standing and then passing, and all these other little tricks of the trade that go with dummy half play. Dunford. 10-2, 8 points in arrears. Manly. Lions. Cunningham galloping into a bit of space. Cole Bentley just handled in that play. Carroll, 40 metres out from the North line. Scott Fulton's kick will find the touchline. About 22 metres out now. Magnificent ground, the ANZ. Great viewing areas for the public. Private boxes, 160 of them, I think. They said that we might be a bit far from the play, but there is an advantage. You can see things opening up when you're at a height and a distance. We're certainly no further away than we are at the Sydney Football Stadium as commentators. David Hall, is it? One of the academic footballers, David Hall. Very good accountant. Travels miles in his work and his football. Bad pass by Jason Taylor. Chip kick across the top by Craig Wilson is regathered by the same man. They're 38 metres out from the Manly line. Taylor. Soden. Good pace off the mark.
And lost the ball on the tackle, but Manly opening up there with those switches of play by Taylor. I think both sides tonight, maybe it's because of the heat, I don't know, but they're suffering from a lack of depth in their play. They're standing too flat and not giving themselves an opportunity to try and get through the opposition. The deeper you stand, the more room you've got to manoeuvre, and both sides not doing it tonight.
Bentley across the lines and then back on the inside for Daniel Gartner, the siren in the background. So half-time is with us. Start of the third quarter now, or second half. Manly trailing by 8 points. So they've got a fair bit of work to do. They really haven't looked dangerous at any time. That would probably be the most worrying feature. Ooh, David Fairley on the end of some very heavy defence, and a couple of them were only very small defenders, Beasley and Fulton. We remarked that Tony Ray was in the comfort zone earlier, and looking out there, he still is, but he'd made 17 tackles in approximately 30 minutes of football. Maybe that explains away why he was enjoying the rest. At half-time, Larson had made 16 and Moore 14, Fairley 11, Fennick 12 and Jones 8 to cover the forward pack. Manly, Kosef and Carroll 15, Gillespie, Cunningham, Fulton 11 and Alexander 12. Half-time forward tackle counts. Sidelines with Gary.
Ray, much more of the same is the order from North's coach Peter Louis. Look out for Cliff Lyons running across field, he's told his troops. If Manly are going to get back into the game, it's Cliff Lyons that'll spark them, and Norths are well aware of that. Yeah, and the Manly knew much the same from Bob Fulton. Still worried about Manly's ball control. He wants his team to lift up a gear, play at a bit faster pace. They're going down and playing exactly the same as North Sydney at the moment.
Carroll. Take it. The fact that he hasn't put the headgear back on, and he has been a headgear player for some time. Here's the bomb. We'll just watch this. Soden, Barwick it was. He was tackled, and then it appeared like he was forced back into the in goal. Let's have a look at and see at this. Have a look with me now. There's Barwick. He's tackled. And they've gone on with the tackle and put him in the in goal. It's probably a legitimate tackle, but geez.
Yeah,
I thought he was held.
I thought it was a penalty to North Sydney. 2 tackles involved there. It's a good chase from Anthony Rogers.
Good chase, it could be a big turnaround.
I mean, if it had been the sideline, it would have been a penalty, wouldn't it? So how's the goal line any different? That's the point I'm making. He was tackled. His progress, and progress means forward, had been halted. So, yeah, it should have been a penalty. Here's Carroll. I was just going to say, he's probably thought, well, that's a hell of a lot more comfortable without the damn thing in conditions like these. Gillespie. Through Beasley's hands. The Lions to turn in for Kosef. Kosef's got a problem. I hope it's not that knee. He's clutching at it. Did he not have reconstruction on a knee last year?
Yes, and by the look of the big scars down that knee, that's the one they were on. Here's a chance for Manly. This has been touched. This will be a try to Alexander.
David Alexander gets the try. I think most people thought that the referee would blow it up, but it was touched and nullified.
Let's just have a look there. David Alexander. Well, I thought he was in front of Cliff Lyons if it was touched.
Well, I think you'll find it came off Florimo. Looks like the ball to me. Does it hit Florimo?
Oh, yeah, right on the back.
Comes off him. Alexander does well for a big man to bend over and pick that up.
Jeez,
has trouble controlling the footy, but gets over.
It looked like it might have come off his hand even then.
But let's go back again to the penalty that gave them 6 again. That has turned the match. It may well be 6 points. It's not a difficult kick. So they've got a drop out when we believe that they shouldn't have. 6 again, and Manly have taken full advantage.
Rogers raises the flags, 10 points to 8. Kosef is coming off, but pretty much unaided. Here's this incident again. No, it's sweet on that replay. It's dead set a try. Only question mark was on the try scorer Alexander in relation to the kicker. So Manly back in this game very much now. Not that they were ever out of it. 2 points down now.
It's not surprising that the try Manly did score came from a kick. Sydney are a very well-drilled defensive side. Manly love to turn the ball back inside. They like running angles. That's great against a defence that maybe doesn't work as well as North Sydney, but they've handled it pretty well. Good front on their defence there, led by Toole. Plenty of support. Craig Wilson in bowling.
Beasley. Lions. Danny Moore puts it down. I'll tell you what, he had plenty of defensive traffic around him, though.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, the inside pass. And if Greg Florimo had have been a little bit lazy in defence, there'd have been a gap on the inside. But you see him going across there and coming up with a good tackle or more, jolting the ball loose.
Isn't it the sign of a good player? A player who's always thinking, you know, and he's willing to make the effort, get across there. As Barwick makes a good run, looks for space back inside.
David Hall. John MacArthur. Little men out from dummy half. Fast off the mark. Manly on their heels. Taylor held it back. Fairley's with it. 12 out. Soden.
Well, they're a mile offside there, the Manly team. It was a good play, the ball, because he wasn't put on the ground. They were only a couple of metres away as Norths go wide. Ball back inside to Florimo. Good defence there. Mark Carroll.
Drop goal.
Missed it.
And missing. It came off the boot of Wilson, is it? Craig Wilson.
I'm surprised at that option. Two in front.
Yeah, I'm not sure about a drop goal at 10-8.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Especially they've had a bit of ball down there in goal, or maybe a bomb. Try and get the ball back or score a try.
I think you'd be disappointed with that option, Peter Louis, the coach. A good positive coach.
The thing about field goals too, Paul, like they're a great weapon if you're 6 or 12 in front to make the opposition have to score a game. By kicking a field goal, you come back to halfway and all of a sudden players down on your line once again from the kick-off. It's a long way to go to get out of trouble.
Just saying, at 10-8, you don't need a field goal.
Manly keeping it alive. Something they did very well last weekend. They were absolutely brilliant, weren't they, in the sevens? Lions punching it down the ground and out on the full. Gary Belcher.
Ray, we hear so much about North's big men, Fairley, Larson, Fennick, Jones, but for mine tonight, it's the small men. Johnny MacArthur doing a hell of a lot of work, David Hall, Jason Taylor, even Mark Soden when he's been on the field, that are leading the way for the Bears.
One of you guys down there might just get me a report on Nick Kosef, if you can, Steve or Gary. Manly viewers, Manly fans would love to know, I'm sure, an update on what the doctor thinks on Nick Kosef. Jones hammered back. Gartner got him. Moore. Fairly running on his outside. Craig Wilson the inside. Had the option, took the tackle. Florimo. Taylor. Cunningham and Beasley shutting him down.
Well, the mail on Nick Kosef is that he's got a possible twisted ankle at this stage. So obviously he'll have it in ice and maybe try and get back later in the game, although I see he's actually heading off the field into the dressing room now.
Taylor puts the bomb up. Good work by Rogers. He didn't let it bounce. He could have easily done that, I suppose.
Well, that report on Kosef, if it is right, it's not good news for him tonight, but I'm sure he's delighted that it's an ankle and not that troublesome knee. There's again strong defence there. Gavin Jones coming in as the third man to help Billy Moore put Scott Fulton to ground. Finding it tough to get out of their own danger area, Manly. Good defence, again led by Fairley. Great ball inside the lines. He's got Gartner.
Gartner to the halfway and beyond. A great fend by Gartner. That's play on. This is Hancock. Hancock. 2 metres from the line. Terry Hill. Across the face of Gardner, knocked on by Beasley.
Well, a great chance there for Manly. Daniel Gardner showed surprising speed. We haven't seen much of him, but he pushed a couple away. Great ball there. Cliffy Lyons set up Gardner. Look at him go.
I actually think that the North's cover defence here were more concerned, again, with playing the man. You see MacArthur probably could have got down to that ball when it was thrown back inside. He just wanted to get the man.
But look at Hall and Toshak. The far wingers come in there. He saved the day for them. And then the mistake came. Too eager with the football.
10 metres out from the North Sydney line. That was a bit closet for North Sydney, wasn't it? David Hall did well. Now, we've had one report up here on Nick Kosef. What's yours, Steve?
Yeah, I was just talking to the Manly doctor. He said Nick Kosef has re-injured the knee that he hurt last year, that he had the reconstruction on. They can't tell how bad yet because they have to wait till he cools down.
Okay, I thought it was the knee when he went down originally, and when we heard ankle up here, I thought, well, that's a strange one.
High tackle there from Cliff Lyons. Takes the pressure off North Sydney. Fingers crossed for Nick Kosef that it's not as serious as what he experienced last year. Tony Ray takes the tap 40 metres out from his own line. Gets up fairly.
Fennick. Cross and through from Fairley to Florimo, and it's in the hands now of Sean Hoppy.
With the referee signalled 6 again there, it was certainly kicked in the play of the ball by the Manly marker. Not sure whether the referee has picked that up.
Gary Larson. Moore. Toshak.
This is one of those line ball decisions. Let's have a look at it. Willie Moore, yeah, touch forward there, good decision.
Cole Bentley it was that struggled to play that ball. David Gillespie. 21 is Dunford. The tackle got a bit high, and Grant will penalise here.
Gavin Jones, the offender. The swinging arm up round the head. Not too much damage done, but the referee's consistent tonight. Brian Grant, he's gone very well, and he wants no tackles whatsoever up around the head.
10-2 the half-time score in favour of the Bears, but they would have been aware that this breeze was going to be against them in the second half. They've already clawed 6 points back to be down just by 2 now. Gillespie. Hard to imagine Gillespie playing for a north of the harbour club, I suppose. He's probably a bit of a westerner. Canterbury, the Magpies. Mind you, plenty of people make the transition down to God's country. Don't they, Sterling? Lions. And this is young Gardner.
They're starting to miss a few tackles now, North Sydney. Very slow up. Billy Moore there may have hurt himself in that tackle. Last one now for Manly. Lions back behind the ruck area.
That's a good bomb, Peter.
Oh, great
tackle. I hope he's all right.
Mark Soden.
I don't know whether it's him or Barwick.
Barwick. And he's got them for offside anyway. Thought they were all in front of the kicker.
This will look absolutely spectacular, which is only a minor thing, I suppose, but talk about put your body on the line.
How big's his ticker? He's gone up and taken that. Sensational.
Well, I think in just about any rugby league promo that you see from here on in, that take by Barwick will be a feature. Jeez, he was lucky he didn't come down on his noggin. Tremendous stuff.
He's had a checkered path as well, hasn't he, Greg Barwick? Been at a couple of clubs, Canterbury, Penrith from memory. Even at North Sydney, it's found it difficult to retain the #1 jersey for any length of time. But what an enormous amount of confidence the players in front have when you see a fullback handle pressure in such a fashion.
Tony Ray back on the paddock. Paddock. I don't think I should use that expression when I look down at this beautifully prepared ANZ Stadium. Just wish I could make grass grow like this. Fennick. Taylor. Jorgen Rogers. Almost left arm might have been getting a touch high if they're going to use the Jones tackle of a few minutes ago as a yardstick. Now, this youngster on for Manly is Anthony Rogers in jumper 19. He's a local junior, isn't he, Paul?
Local junior, flying winger. Lots of speed, big, tall, lanky type.
I've seen him in the lower grades. He goes very well. This is Bentley. Now Moore probing, looking for support. Bentley stayed alive. Rogers has tackled.
The more ball they've had, the better they've looked, the Eagles.
That's
they're starting to get deep in attack, and they're getting a bit of a roll on here. North, I don't know if they're tiring, but they're not looking as effective as they were, say, 20 minutes ago.
Alexander, who scored their try, plays the ball. Clippy Lyons. Spreading it out through Danny Moore, and Anthony Rogers tackled, booted over the sideline by Cole Bentley. And that's a turnover.
Well, Cliff took the option to run that football on the 5th rather than kick it. Saw some space out there. And the now Norths have the ball inside Manly's half.
It wasn't particularly good play from the Manly winger there. Lyons picked up a wide man who'd stayed behind him, knowing it was the last tackle, but the winger was well and truly in front of the support player. So there was no chance of drawing and passing to create any sort of overlap.
Taylor. That's Barwick into the back line. From a distance, I know North fans might find this a bit strange, but from a distance, and we are a long way up here, it's Barwick and Soden. By Jove, they can confuse you.
Thanks, Ray.
Soden is off the park at the moment, so it's not so difficult. Taylor. Taylor's bomb, very high, not a great deal of length in it. Raked down by the Bears.
6 to go. No. What's he found?
No, he's ruled a turnover.
I thought Terry Hill might have got a touch of that football. The referee obviously doesn't think so. And it did appear his first decision was to call play on with the North Sydney play the ball. Good defence run on. Let's have a look at the... Oh, he's got a touch there for sure.
Penalty against the Bears inside the 10. That's good play by Manly. They really fished out that penalty. Good quick play of the ball. They had North all inside the 10.
Well, I think he's got Gavin Jones again here for another high tackle. Talking to Captain Tony Ray and Gavin Jones. I know it's at least his second, possibly third offence as far as the head-high tacklers are concerned. Once again, the swinging arm up around the shoulders and then connecting around the neck.
I tend to think that caution on Jones, though, came after he'd given the penalty for inside the 10. 30 metres out, Manly, trailing by 2. Dunford back for Fulton. Lyons. Oh! Danny Moore snatched at it. North's come up in a strong position now.
And that's one instance where the players really didn't know what Cliff Lyons was doing. I'm sure that Danny Moore was half thinking he was supposed to come back inside. And he did snatch at the football eventually to put it down. Gary Larson's almost centre field. They've got a big back line, but again Taylor switches it back to David Fairley on the blind.
Flick pass out the back from Fairley. Redirects the point of the attack through Caruana. And that's the 20-metre line. Taylor's got Fenwick one side and Wilson the other. And Bentley's come up with the ball for Manly. Terry Hill, desperate stuff. Hancock for Rogers. Three-quarter time, only a matter of seconds away, so this will be the last set of 6. In fact, this will probably be the last tackle. Carroll is the last man to handle, and a quarter of football that very much was with Manly. They'll have the breeze in the final quarter. They're trailing by only 2. Start of the final quarter now. 10 points to 8 in favour of the Bears. Ironically, they clashed in the first round of the Tooheys Challenge last year, as I said at the top of this coverage. And the Bears won that match by just 2 points. History might just well repeat itself here. Fairly. Back for Ray. Through to Fenwick and on now for Caruana. Caruana almost through. Gave the pass. Cliffy Lyons, though, is declared offside because the ball was raked out from Caruana by a Manly player.
I think you'll find he might have penalised Ray Manly for raking the football. That was a signal I gathered. Punched down there.
Well, it wouldn't matter.
No,
see, Cliffy's offside.
anyway, yes.
That's exactly what he said.
Well, a good start by North now, because I thought that Manly got on top in that third quarter.
He's got a problem with his eye, Danny Moore.
Has he what?
The Bears on the attack. 25 out. That's a tremendous tackle. 21, Matt Dunford. We'll go to the sideline and see what happened in the huddle in just a moment. Let this unfold for the time being, though. Jason Taylor. Jones has been in trouble tonight. A couple of times Grant's pinged him for high tackles. Florimo. Second man play. Larson. 5 tackles gone. Taylor's the man. Tony Rayard acting half. Taylor's bomb high. Again, not getting it as deep as he wanted it, and the penalty is against the Bears for being in front of the kicker.
Yes, Jason Taylor's kicking game has been a little bit off tonight in general play. Poor chasing there from the kickers. They were in front. Really had to get back and chase, but that kick needed to be longer as well. Even his first kick of the match tonight went off the side of the boot and only just landed in the field of play. Mark Carroll makes a good surge at 8-10 metres.
What happened at three-quarter time, Gary?
Ray, the message from the Bears camp was that they were a little disappointed that North went into their shell in the third quarter and allowed Manly back into the game. The message from Peter Louis is play the game up in Manly's end of the field and take the game to them.
Yes, Bobby Fulton in the Manly camp a lot happier with his charges. He said that they did lift the tempo. He's happy they're doing what they tell him, and he thinks that his team is getting better every quarter.
Cunningham. Yeah, well, that was suggested on the scoreboard. There's no doubt about that. Manly, they weren't in the game in the first 20 minutes, really. Greg Barwick, responsible for a spectacular save in that third quarter. Craig Wilson. MacArthur. Grant has ruled that the ball went forward. I tell you what, that's, to me, a tough call. The ball was loose, but I'm sure it didn't go forward. See it again. It's on the end of this play.
Oh,
it's going forward.
200 metre backwards.
I wouldn't take up selling real estate.
How would he find it? How would he see that and rule it went forward?
I don't know, but I tell you what, it could be a very important ruling.
Well, it's not the first ruling that has changed the course of the game, as Danny Moore boots a tackle. And it was North who I thought was on the wrong end of the earlier one. Try scored against him straight after that. They must buckle up in defence now.
David Alexander enjoyed scoring that try earlier. They're not all that frequent for him. Gillespie. Manly very much in the North Sydney danger zone now. Lions, 2 big passes, 3 now. They're across the other side of the field. Rogers away for Rogers.
Roll away, fellas. Roll up in play. Roll
Is that right? That's right. Cunningham. Last tackle coming up. Lions keeping it on the ground. Touched by North Sydney, but then cleaned up by Barwick.
It's just as well Cliffy found a little bit of trouble getting through the line there. The kick took a rebound and slowed down. Barwick was fairly deep. Sean Hoppy, second tackle. 65 minutes gone with his side leading by 2.
Florimo. Fairly.
They've looked at a cog, Manly, even with their defence. They're hitting a lot harder. And I think they realise they're finishing too well for the North Sydney side at this stage. And Manly will bring this ball back now and they'll be inside the North's half.
Oh, Rogers picked up and driven into the ground. Well, Grant's got Florimo for a spear tackle. Florimo's face probably tells the story.
I don't see that as a spear tackle. Steele, what about you?
No, I thought it was a great tackle.
Just a good tackle, good up, driving tackle. He went down on his shoulder.
In fact, the kind of tackle that you want to instill into kids, pick them up and drive.
Unbelievable.
Greg Florimo, an anxious look on his face, as if he was saying, that's the way I've been taught to tackle for years. Get down low under the rib cage, drive with the thighs, and he's been penalised. Now, Fennick is injured in the back play as it comes away for Bentley. Terry Hill doesn't get a clean ball. It's put down.
Well, that's justice to me because of that alleged spear tackle. Terry had a little peep there.
They're very well drilled in defence, aren't they, North Sydney? They slide well. They really make the right choices at the right times as to who should stay on who and who should continue to move across. Billy Moore back into the fray. Fennick back into the action.
Oh, gee, Fennick! They picked him off.
Gillespie.
Penalty to the Bears.
He's in some trouble here, Cement. He's been called out.
Gillespie comes across with a sheepish look on his face.
Cliffy trying to say that it was across the chest. Looked a little bit higher than that. Did go up off the top of the shoulder, the chest area. Oh, gee.
This wins your chest around your nose.
Yeah, well, he
hasn't missed him, has he? And he's still down, Mario. And Mario's one of the toughest players out there in the Sydney Rugby League competition today, and he's still down.
I think he's fairly lucky to still be out there, David Gillespie.
He's talking a million miles an hour now, Mario, but
let's have a look at it.
That hurt him.
I see.
Well, that's when Mario got hurt earlier.
Remember I said Fennick was down in back play? That's the first time, but that didn't look to have anything in it. But look at that. Venom in the Gillespie hit. Well, Sterlo knows something about Gillespie.
Oh, he got me with the beauty. Very legitimate, that one. I also like to look at the reactions of the players around. They know, and Gary Larson's first reaction was to look straight at the referee. I think he had expectations they may have been playing 12.
Run by Tony Ray there, gains a valuable 8 metres, and it's put Manly on the back foot, and Taylor's into the action now.
Fennick has come off. Taylor's 25 out from the Manly line. There's about 11 minutes of the match remaining. The Bears lead by 2. Adrian Toole gets it 15 out. Tony Ray. Taylor. Florimo. Moore's out wide. That's him with the ball. And again it goes to the grass. Grant refereeing over the play the ball. And for that reason, Norths were playing about a 7 or 8 metre defensive line. Carroll. Cunningham. I'm just wondering whether Grant might place that tackle of Gillespie's on report. Well done, Dunford. Lions away. Rogers 42 metres out from his own line. He's done nothing wrong. Jorgen Rogers for Manly. And Cliffy Lyons finds the touch. 18 metres out from the North Sydney line. Time running out. 10 to go. And Manly down by 2.
And that sort of kick actually favours North Sydney to the extent they'll get the feed. It's winding down the clock. See, there's no urgency to set this scrum. And the clock does continue to tick down. Lead on the scoreboard. Later on in the game, in these couple of minutes, we'll see Lions kicking to keep the ball in play, try and force a mistake.
Fed by Taylor.
Interesting, Terry Hill packed into that scrum as a lock forward there.
The Bears playing it fairly safe now. They're trying to get it out of the danger zone. They've done that. They're 10 metres from the halfway.
Both defences have been pretty good tonight, Stella, haven't they? Because you can count your clean breaks probably on one hand by both sides combined.
I think at half-time we had a look at the statistic was 3-2, 2 and 1 for the respective sides. And there wouldn't be too many more in the second half. Tries have been very hard to come by. Great tackle there from Greg Florimo once again.
The only time in the game really that anybody's been beaten all ends up was Oljanek when Hoppy scored. Other than that, you've got to scratch your head to try and remember players that have been embarrassed in defence. Terry Hill, Lyons, Gartner.
Beautiful tackle coming over there in defence by Craig Wilson. Typical second row play, always on the ball and looking for those tackles. They go wide now, the Eagles, but gone.
Just too far out in front of Cole Bentley.
And that comes from desperate play. They're 2 points behind with 8 minutes remaining and looking to spin that ball wide.
Talking of looking for things ahead of you, Port Macquarie tomorrow night. Most people will be, I'm sure, anxious to see what Western Suburbs, South Sydney, Saints, the Sharkies have got to offer. Beautiful coastal resort. And there's a little knock on there against Greg Florimo. Sideline with Gary.
Ray, Mario Fennick came off the field a few moments ago and he's absolutely filthy about the attention he received around the head from a couple of Manly opponents. If and when he gets back on the field, I think we can prepare for some real fiery exchanges.
Oh. 10-8. Is he sitting on the bench there, Gary, or has he gone for some repairs back in the dressing room?
No, he's had some sideline running repairs, but he's very keen to get back on.
Oh, is he? He steamed up, the big fella?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Put him in the comfort zone for a moment. Cunningham.
Been a good performance tonight by Manly, whether they win or lose. A lot of players missing for them. 3 players dropped out with injury this game tonight. And Matthew Ridge, Elsgood and Hopewadi. Consider that Roberts isn't in the side. Also Jeff Tuvey to come back. They're looking good for 94, the Eagles. A good strong side under the coaching of Bob Fulton, who turned them all around last year.
Paul, just running through those names which you were doing, what's become of Gene Namu?
Namu injured a shoulder on the New Zealand tour to England, and I believe he is in repatriation at the moment, and he'll be a few weeks out of the action as well.
He'll be a fair while out. He's had a shoulder reconstruction. I think they're talking about middle of the season almost for him.
Toole.
a chance on the inside there. Toole drifted over and he had Barwick on the inside with a bit of space, but couldn't pop him the ball.
Taylor. Let two go before finding Fairley. Moore's in a wide back line consisting mainly of forwards. And that's the turnover.
They had to kick there. They didn't want to give football away in what is reasonable position to the opposition. They had to, once they'd gone for the option of running it and it had broken down, somebody had to get the foot to the ball and drive it as deep as possible. It's only 2 tackles now, Manly 40 metres from their own line.
Alexander. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Will it be Manly or will it be North Sydney?
Oh, nearly a little bit of luck again there, and Beasley knows that he had an opportunity. They've had a little bit of luck kicking the ball through and hitting the opposition. The same thing nearly happened again. He could have caught that one. A really tough catch.
Oh, it would have been a try, Peter, because he had one man to beat, and with support. What have you made of his game? I thought he's been solid. Look, he hasn't tried to run too much to the line. He's easing his way into this side. Big shoes to fill, of course, for Toohey out. But I'm very impressed with his game.
Well, I put him in the same category as North Sydney get a scrum penalty here. As the fullback, Jorgen Rogers, they've done what they've needed to do, done it fairly proficiently. Haven't really had any opportunities to show us what they can do if they did get into the open. It's been good, solid performance, no mistakes, and I guess at a new club, that's exactly what you're trying to impress upon your coach, that you are a no-mistake player.
Jason Taylor finding the line. 35 metres out from the Manly line. Minutes and seconds ticking away for Manly. It's looking very much as though Norths are going to hang on. Gary Larson. Taylor. Moore was cut out. Fairley's in possession. Terry Hill it was that wrapped him up. Caruana out from dummy half. He's got it within about 9 metres of the line. Florimo. Taylor out wide. Decoy run by Larson. Barwick taken. Loose ball and a chance for Manly. One of their last. Cliff Lyons looking to turn it back in the centre. Carroll. Terry Hill.
Well, they don't need Terry Hill taking the ball first pass from the ruck. He's got to be off line somewhere. No surprise to see Cliff put one over the top shortly for one of his speed men. There he is getting involved, keeping the ball alive. Danny Moore stepping back inside. A good cover defence continues here, but Manly doing what they do best.
And the chances are starting to come to fruition on the right of the ground. Terry Hill's pass, still alive. Turned away by Gardner, scooped up by Beasley, but the referee has seen a knock on.
Well, we were just talking about Darryl Beasley's game. I think that he was guilty of that mistake, as he was earlier in the game when they were on the attack down near the North Sydney line. But great football here, plenty of ball movement. Terry Hill, the pass back inside, didn't find a man on the full. That broke the play down. This next pass is the one that's ruled to be knocked on. Beasley picking up his own mistake, but the referee says, we'll have you back. That should just about tie it up for North Sydney, under 2 minutes to go.
MacArthur. Billy Moore. No area now for... Oh, they've made the mistake. Norths have given Manly another chance. Gillespie away for Lions, and they make the mistake. Well, I doubt that they'll get another 1.5 minutes remaining. Ten points to 8. And this should be the last scrum of the game. Norths to feed. And I doubt that they will take any risks at all on this last set of 6. Florimo takes the first. Barwick passes, and that's as much as they require. Billy Moore. Caruana a dummy half. Sean Hoppy, Tony Ray. Inside the 30-second mark, Florimo. Now the last. Taylor. End on end, and Craig Hancock, no alternative but to take it in and give it to Rogers. Manly need a 100-metre try. We're in the last 5 seconds. No try. Penalty's gone to Manly. Adrian Toole tells the referee of the siren. The tap for Scott Fulton. A miracle required. Lyons floats it out. Florimo went up. Not only did he go up in the air, he went up for the intercept. That had danger written right across it. As it turns out, it was just what the doctor ordered. 10